G'day everybody, Chris Farhi here from the Bayleys Insights and Data team. In this video, I'll be giving you an update on the latest activity in the housing market as we enter May 2023. First off, if you're wondering where I'm filming today, so I'm actually at the sub-penthouse for the Cab in central Auckland. So this is a beautiful property. It's brand new, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 2 car parks, spacious design, luxurious finishes and state-of-the-art appliances. If you're a foreign buyer, you can actually take advantage of an overseas exemption for the property. If you want to learn more about this, you can contact the Bayleys Residential Projects team using the link in the description. Now getting into the stats, from a sales volume perspective, there were 5,877 homes that sold across New Zealand during the month of March 2023. Now this result was a big improvement on the number of sales from February, but to be fair, we do expect a seasonal improvement during March. And if you look across multiple years, the number of sales was actually lower than a typical March. Looking at the median house price for New Zealand, so this increased over the month, rising from 765,000 to 775,000. Now, if you're wondering what you could buy for that 775,000, up in Auckland, you could have got 17 Auster Lane in Hobsonville Point. This is a brand new 2-bedroom terrace home, which was sold by Cherry Kingsley Smith and Farhi from Bayleys Northwest. Meanwhile, down in Napier, you could have got 31A Mardi Road in Onikawa. This is a brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home sitting on 427 square metres. This was sold by Angela Jameson from Bayleys Napier. Meanwhile, down in Christchurch, you could have purchased 7 Excalibur Place in Burwood. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home on 513 square metres. This was sold by Jonathan Ray from Bayleys Fendleton. Although the median house price for New Zealand rose over the month, the house price indices, which adjust for the quality of homes that actually sold, were reasonably flat over the past month. Across the regions, we had several that bumped up in price, and so this included Northland, Taranaki, Manawatu, Canterbury and Southland, and then other regions were reasonably flat or showing a very slight decline, although there was a noticeable drop in Gisborne and Hawke's Bay. We suspect that in those markets, the drop was probably due to lower sales volumes after the cyclone, creating a bit more volatility in the stats. At the coalface, our teams are generally reporting higher levels of activity than we saw last year, and there are a couple of interesting things that happened over the past month. One of them was Kevin Barber from Bayleys Howick, working with George Yeoman from the Bayleys auction team, had a massive auction result. So this was for 366 Point View Road in Howick, 3-bedroom home with Spanish-inspired architecture on just over 8,000 square metres, so a good solid lifestyle block. This had a really intense auction with more than 100 bids placed over 17 minutes. Property sold under the hammer for 5.2 million. Now also up in Auckland, we had Annabelle Marshall from Bayleys Ponsonby. She sold one of Auckland's oldest fire stations, which had been transformed into a family home. Meanwhile, down in Christchurch, we've got Adam Hazelwood from Bayleys Mirabale, who has started marketing some home and build packages on Fendleton Road. Now, one of those properties is likely to be amongst the most expensive homes that's ever sold in Christchurch. Looking forward in terms of the outlook for market, we're starting to enter an interesting space. So over the past 12 months, we've had a pretty steady downward trend with the key factors impacting the market being higher levels of interest rates, the downward trend in prices, and just negative sentiment associated with both of those. There have been a couple of interesting updates over the past month. Probably the most important thing to be aware of is that the latest inflation results were lower than expected by a lot of commentators. So commentators were picking that the March 2023 inflation would come out at about 7 or early 7%, but the result actually came in at 6.7%. What this means is that interest rates probably won't have to be as high as they were previously projected to be. Now that's really good news for the market because that starts to clear out some of that uncertainty around where interest rates might head to. You can already see this coming through the data with the 5-year mortgage rate for New Zealand being reasonably stable over the past 6 months. The other big factor has been that downward trend in prices. Now while the trend for the past 12 months has generally been downward, if you look at those latest house price indices, you'll see that the results for the Auckland region and for New Zealand have actually been reasonably stable over the past couple of months, which is giving us some sense that prices are starting to achieve a level of stability. Then finally, from a sentiment perspective, we're also starting to see some improvements there. This is most noticeable in the media, where we've seen a shift away from coverage about the downward trend in prices to much more focus on the housing market recovery. With that said, we'll wrap it up here. So massive thanks to Love & Co, the vendor for this property, the Bayleys Residential Projects team for hosting us, and we'll see you next time. See ya.